Bonjour y'all, my name is Brita and today on Witches Unite I am sharing the best strategy for you to defeat the ancient Ukrainian Ironbelly based on your profession. I am using data collected by Plotter 101 and his Discord, so you can find out more about his work and the research that they are doing. There's a link in the description down below. So y'all know I am editor-in-chief of Wizards Unite Hub. Well, we have partnered with Plotter 101 to put together these detailed guides. So I'm going to go over a lot of information fairly quickly in this video, but all of it is written and broken down like step by step, example by example, in an article on Wizards Unite Hub, which will also be linked in the description down below. So of course, this information is very helpful right before the Adversaries event, which will have the ancient Ukrainian Ironbelly boosted, but I also wanted to create this video and other videos for other adversaries eventually, because it's information that you can use anytime you encounter one of these adversaries. The first chart we'll be looking at is an overview of defeating the ancient Ukrainian Ironbelly by profession. It gives an estimate of the amount of resources it will take to defeat this adversary. These numbers assume that you have unlocked 10 of your nodes in the advanced adversarial training. I have not done that, but don't worry, I will show you a really cool spreadsheet also put together by Plotter 101 at the end of this video so that you can calculate possibly your own approximation of resources needed to defeat the adversaries based on your data. So if you look at this, if you are an Auror, it will take you approximately 3 spell energy to defeat the first guard, 10 spell energy and possibly a healing potion depending on RNG to defeat the second guard, and then 7 to 9 spell energy to defeat the third guard depending on your choice of potions. As a Magizologist, it will take you 5 spell energy to defeat the first guard, 13 to defeat the second guard, and then 13 to 17 spell energy to defeat the dragon itself, again depending on your choice of potions. Finally, as a professor, and side note, y'all, professors were kind of, there's not a polite way to say this, we were screwed in the stats for adversaries, and it's fine. It's totally fine. I'm not at all frustrated. So it'll take you about 6 spell energy to defeat the first guard, 9 spell energy to defeat the second guard, and then 10 to 14 spell energy to defeat the adversary itself, again depending on your choice of potions. But if you look at the chart here, you'll notice that a Magizologist and Auror will use 1 to 2 potions, and a professor has to use like 2 to 4 potions. So it's definitely going to be more difficult as a professor to defeat the ancient Ukrainian Ironbelly, which means that if you have maxed out more than one profession and if you have been grinding resources in order to work on the advanced adversarial training, you are best off playing as an Auror during an event that has the ancient Ukrainian Ironbelly boosted. Reminder that when you see an adversary on the map, you don't know what the adversary is until you click on it. So once you have started the adversary encounter, you can't back out to change your profession. Some players have used a second device to change their profession, but this is risky because it's not the way the game is designed. And that can cause a bug that has you leave the adversary encounter, meaning that you lose it altogether. So do that at your own risk. When fighting adversaries, you use three resources: spell energy, potions, and time. So this chart is showing a quick overview of the spell energy, potions, and time needed to defeat the mummy, which is the second guard before the Ukrainian Ironbelly. Quickly, as an auror, honestly, you have really good luck using no potions just because aurors hit hard. As a professor, you also have really good luck without using potions. And then, of course, as a Magizologist who is very strong and tanky, you also don't have to use potions. The reason you might want to use potions is to save on time. So if you look at the auror, for example, using a strong potion, you'll defeat the mummy in most likely less than 40 seconds. Whereas with no potions, it's going to take 90 seconds. And of course, there's a difference in spell energy use, a difference between like 4 to 5 spell energy versus 9 to 10 spell energy. Do you have more potions than spell energy? Do you have more potions than time? That is going to be the question that you need to ask to determine whether or not you should use potions against a guard. Especially if you have not completed all of the advanced adversarial training like me, then you might want to use a regular simul potion or a stronger simul potion just to boost your strength, your combat power against the mummy. Just a thought. Okay, so these are the charts I'm going to go through really quickly, but again, all of this is written out in exquisite detail on Wizards Unite Hub, and you can find that link in the description down below. So first up, if you are fighting as an auror, then you have obviously multiple options when trying to defeat the Ukrainian Ironbelly. So if you are trying to save on resources, so the best combination of saving spell energy, potions, and time, the recommendation is that you use 1 wit sharpening potion and 1 strong simulo potion when tackling the ancient Ukrainian Ironbelly. Always have healing potions on hand in case of bad RNG, especially because this particular combination, wit sharpening potion and strong simulo potion, only has an 81% success rate. So you really need to have those healing potions on hand to succeed in your fight. If you have plenty of potent simulo potions, then you might choose to use a single potent simulo potion against the dragon, or you can use the potent simulo potion and the wit sharpening potion. If you do either of those, you will save a lot of time and spell energy, and you are more likely to defeat the dragon even without a healing potion. So that is as an auror. Next up is as a Magizologist. And the recommendation here is that you combine a potent simulo potion with a wit sharpening potion. The time is shortened and you have a really high chance of beating the dragon without having to use a healing potion. However, if you are low on your potent potions, then using a strong simulo potion with a wit sharpening potion still gives you a really good chance of winning. Just again, have a healing potion on hand in case you're hit multiple times. And then, finally, the professor, my profession, and we will see what the challenge is. And that is, even when using a wit sharpening potion and a potent simulo potion, there's only a 44% success rate against the Ukrainian Ironbelly. So if you're a professor, you definitely need to have healing potions because that is the only way that you will survive this encounter. And honestly, you should probably do even more potions, like more than just the potent and the wit sharpening. What I frequently do is I start with a potent and a wit sharpening, and then once the wit sharpening is out of charges, I use another wit sharpening potion. And of course, I always have healing potions on hand. For me, generally, when I'm like at 100, 120 health left, that's when I drink a healing potion, just in case the adversary is going to hit me multiple times. So hopefully all of this data can help you decide the best potions to use when defeating the ancient Ukrainian Ironbelly. Okay, so what if you are like me and you have not completed 10 nodes in your adversarial combat? Well, don't worry, you can still get an idea of the resources you need to defeat an adversary. So this spreadsheet is linked in the description below. You will click on it and then you'll need to make a copy in your drive. So let's see, I'm gonna open it in Google Sheets first, and then go up to File and hit Make a Copy. And yes, we're gonna call it Brita's Adversary's Help Sheet, so that I know that it is my copy with my information added to it. Then you're gonna wait for it to load slowly. It's totally fine. Okay. And then from here, you are going to pull up the summary, and you are going to edit this with your own information. So, alright, so to edit this, you're going to want to pull up Wizards Unite on your device and, you know, collect your spell energy and your ingredients and return any severe threat foundables. Okay, so here we are going to go to SOS training, and we will start with the combat training and go to advanced adversarial combat. And that, just remember that I had switched my profession earlier. So, and you switch it back to professor. Alright, so I am going to input professor here in the top left, and then I need to look at how many nodes I have filled. So for dodge, which is on the left, I only have 3. And for precision on the right, I only have 4. So as you can see, some changes were happening here, and we will get there in a moment. Then you're going to pull up your Magizologist, and let's see, the SOS training, and then that little person in the top left, Magicum Vitae. Y'all, I don't speak Latin. And then we're going to scroll past the spell mastery and the departure denial, and we're going to look at not the brewing, but the potency. Here we go. So first up, I have the regular Assimil Potion, and yes, I have it as 25%. And then I also have the extra charge, which means I have 4. And for strong, I also have the extra 25%, and I have 1 additional charge, which means it is 5. For potent Assimila Potion, I have the 25%. I do not have the extra charge, so I need to make that 5. And then I think it is so. Health Potion, I have as 30%. Wit Sharpening Potion, I have 21% potency increase, but I do not have the extra charge, so I need to make that to 3. Of course, you will input your own numbers. If you haven't buffed your potions, then you might need to, change it to 0%, or if you've only done some of the buffs, you'll need to change it to the percentage that shows up, again, on this page under your potion brewing efficacy. Okay, and then after you have done that, you can look at this column, the J column, to find out what kind of resources you are going to need in order to defeat the adversary. So let's look at something where I am already strong enough where I don't necessarily have to use a potion. So Draco Malfoy, you can see that when defeating him, this is green. It says 3 there. This means that my power, just as a professor with the advanced adversarial combat I've already done, and his power against me, the combination is that I can defeat him without using any potions. Now, 3 is a fairly small number, so you would still want to have a healing potion on hand just in case of bad RNG. And another example of this would be Fenrir Greyback. This is exactly 0. That means only in like the most perfect RNG can I defeat Fenrir Greyback without needing any potions. Yeah. And then, of course, this video is on the ancient Ukrainian Ironbelly, and you can see that it's red and it says -24. So I'm going to need to come up with a number from potions that will be equal to or greater than 24. To figure out what that number is, I'm going to go over here on the right to these columns. So for the sake of easy math, I'm going to round each of these down a little bit. So instead of 6.2 or 7.5, I'm going to call those 6 and call those 7 and 12 and 2 and yeah. So what do I need to do to get this to even out for me so that I can win? Obviously, the potent Assimula potion is going to give me the most. So one potent Assimula potion is 12, and then I still need to come up with 12 points of other potions. So we're going to add a single, actually, no, we're going to add 2 wit sharpening potions because that's usually what I do in a situation like this. So that's 12 plus 2 equals 16. And then I need to come up with something else to get to 24. In this case, I want to go with the healing potion, which is 6. Add that in. That is only 22. So one other thing, what should I do? I would probably do a weak Assimula potion plus 3. That's 25. That gets us above the 24. Now this is just an example of the potions that you might need in order to, you know, defeat the adversary. And of course, you can come up with your own combination. And the point of this is not necessarily to help you in the middle of battle, because if you are fighting your adversary, you probably don't want to be doing calculations. But before an event starts, when a certain adversary is boosted, this just gives you a general idea of how many potions you need to have on hand if you're going to try and defeat the ancient Ukrainian Ironbelly. Because if you were like me and this is in the red and it says -24, but you don't have any Assimula potions or healing potions left, well, you're not going to be able to defeat the ancient Ukrainian Ironbelly with, you know, just a couple of wit sharpening potions. And you need to know that before going into battle so that you don't lose against the adversary. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to change some of the numbers so that you can see what they might look like for a different profession. In fact, that'll be the only thing I change. I will change it to the Auror profession instead of the professor, and I kept everything else the same. So you can say that for the ancient Ukrainian Ironbelly, that the number dropped down to 21 instead of what I had at 24. So in that case, what you need is going to be a little different. In this case, you might just be best off going with 2 potent potions. So we'll do 12 plus 12, and then that's 24. And that still gives you a little bit of wiggle room because, again, RNG, right? Anyway, I know that this is a bit complicated. It's a bit fancy. We're going to move this back to Professor. But the idea here is to help you know before you start battling adversaries if you have the resources needed to defeat the adversaries based on your profession, what you have done in your advanced adversarial combat, and what you have done in your SOS training. That's about all that I have for y'all today. Thank you to Plotter 101 for putting this information together that I could share with all of you. If you liked this video, please let me know, because I will then do a similar video for every single adversary. But of course, that kind of content does take a lot of time. So I want to know that this type of content is valuable for you, that you appreciate learning more about strategies against adversaries. Like by adversary, by profession. So leave a comment, let me know what you think, give it a thumbs up, you know, if it's helpful. Just tell me and the YouTube algorithm that you like Wizards Unite videos. If you want more Wizards Unite videos, please subscribe to my channel. I have content like this, I have event guides, and occasionally I do fun like other Harry Potter content. So it's a good time here at Witches Unite. If you like my glasses, you can get $20 off your first order using the link in the description down below. This is from Pair Eyewear. It's not sponsored. I just really like their glasses and I want to buy more tops. And if you use my link, you get $20 off of your first order, but I also get $20 off of my subsequent order, which is great because I really just want to own the entire collection of tops for my frames. All right, that's about all I have for y'all today. As always, thank y'all so much for watching. Until next time, au revoir, witches.